Europe is on the brink of a new major war. While the world's attention is focused on the front in Ukraine and the conflict in Iran, Russia has begun covert but large-scale preparations for a confrontation with NATO. Reuters, citing fresh data from Lithuanian intelligence dated March 6th, reports the Kremlin is deploying new military units and expanding existing brigades to division level along all the borders of the alliance. Why does Putin need an army that is 50% larger than before the war? How many years does the West have left to prepare for a large-scale conflict? And what role does China play in all of this? Today we will analyze the fatal intelligence forecast that made Europe's leaders shudder. And you'll find more information in our report. My name is Yevhen Sirov, and this is the Glavred channel. Subscribe and give us a like. Let's get started. According to Lithuania's annual intelligence report, Russia is not just replenishing its losses, it is building a new type of army. In the Leningrad military district and the Kaliningrad region, there is a frantic development of infrastructure underway. The main trend is the transformation of brigades into full-fledged divisions. This means a multiple increase in the number of personnel and armored vehicles directly near the borders of the Baltics and Finland. The most dangerous thing is that these new units are not just sitting in their barracks. The Kremlin is using the war in Ukraine as a giant training ground. Units are gaining real combat experience, after which they return to the NATO borders, becoming the core for future offensive groups. Intelligence emphasizes Russia is creating an army that will not only be larger, but also more modern than the one it had in 2022. How does Russia manage to expand its army under sanctions? The answer is simple: China. The Reuters report clearly states that it is Beijing's assistance that has allowed the Russian military-industrial complex to reduce its dependence on Western technologies. Chinese components are flowing in abundance, enabling Moscow to replenish its strategic stockpiles of weapons and ammunition. Lithuanian intelligence gives a clear forecast. If sanctions are eased or the current pace of production is maintained, Russia will be fully prepared for a conventional conflict with NATO in 6 years. The Kremlin believes it will be able to shift the balance of power in Europe in its favor, ultimately subjugating Ukraine and intimidating the West with the might of its renewed military machine. But preparation is not just about tanks. Intelligence reminds us of the growing hybrid threats, acts of sabotage, subversion, and even parcel explosions in Europe that were recorded last year. This is testing the waters. Putin is testing NATO's resolve, how far he can go before he gets a tough response. And what do you think? What could such actions lead to? The big question remains, will NATO have enough time to prepare by 2032, or is it possible that Vladimir Putin might decide to strike much earlier? Share your thoughts in the comments.